Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing the look that I had in my previous video, which was my lip combos video. I'm going to have that link down below if you guys want to watch that one, but you guys were interested in the eyeshadow look I had, so I went ahead and recreated it for you guys. So if you guys are interested in how I created this look, just go ahead and keep watching. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my eyebrows. I started using a pencil again just because my dip brow dried out and this is the only thing I have for eyebrows. So I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown, but a cheaper alternative is the NYX brow pencils. Those are really good too and they're half the price. They're the NYX micro brow pencil. I was going to start off with my base all set with my foundation and my eyebrows and just do eyeshadow with you guys, but I have nothing else to do, so I might as well just do my whole face with you guys. Go ahead and set the brows. I'm using the Control Freak by NYX. I also have the Anastasia one, but I feel like they're pretty similar, so this one's way more inexpensive than the Anastasia one, so I recommend this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and brush through my brows. Next, I'm going to clean up my brows. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Neutral. This is the same concealer that I use for my face. I just use this for my eyebrows as well. And then for brush, I'm using the Morphe E32. These two together are like the best combination to clean up your brows. It makes it super easy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of concealer to the back of my hand. And I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning them up. I already added some of the concealer onto my lids as primer. Now I'm just going to go ahead and set it really lightly with, so for this look, I do remember that I did use this palette. It's the Shade Light Eye palette by Kat Von D. This one, it's just a beige color with a fluffy brush, and then just lightly set the concealer that I added. Next, I'm taking this Morphe R43. It's a small flat brush. This is perfect to get into the lash line. And I'm going to use this dark, this like dark brown. And then I'm going to just start adding this to my lash line. Same brush, I'm just going to take the eyeshadow and start dragging it outward to create like a wing, and then once I reach the end of my wing, I'm going to drag some of the product into my crease. With a lighter brown, I'm gonna take the brown that's like right next to it. It's a similar tone but lighter, and this is the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. It's exactly the same style as this other Morphe brush. It's just a little bit thicker, a little bit more fluffier, so it's not gonna add as much product. So I'm gonna take some of that brown, and with this brush I'm just gonna go ahead and add that eyeshadow into the crease. more of that, and I'm also gonna blend out the lash line and also the outer corner where I connected the lash line with the crease. Pretty much the look that I did in that video. It was super simple and really easy. I just remember I think I just used like 2 different eyeshadows, but you can obviously go ahead and keep adding more of the brown to make it more intense and like more of like a cut crease type of look. But I like how it looks more just like smoked out like this. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I would intensify it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the skinnier of the 2 brushes, the first one I used, and I'm going to go into this other brown. It's a little bit deeper than the one that I started out with. And I'm just going to do the same technique that I did. I'm just going to go ahead and add eyeshadow to my lower lash line, drag it out, and then take it to the outer corner of my crease, and then just blend it out with this brush. And I'm probably going to take the lighter brown that I used just to like buff it out. Pretty much done with the eyeshadow. I just went ahead and went back and forth with these 2 brushes and the 3 different browns that I showed you from the palette, and just started like intensifying the crease and the lower lash line and just buffing it out with the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Now I just want to add a little bit of depth to the lower lash line. So I'm going to actually take the black from the palette, and this is the Morphe E43. It's this super flat brush. So I'm just going to take some of the black and just really focus on the lash line just to make it look thicker. And then to finish the look, I'm just taking this e.l.f. concealer brush. It's this wide flat brush, and I'm going to take I think this one. It's this white beige color. So I'm going to take some of that eyeshadow, and I'm just going to place it right on the lid and just pat it down. Done with my eyeshadow, and I feel like this is such a simple look. I feel like the main thing is the brushes. If you have good brushes, I feel like it's going to be super easy to create. It takes like 5 minutes tops to create this look, and I feel like it looks really cute. It's like a simple cut crease, like a smoky cut crease. So now I'm going to add some lashes. These are the lashes that I'm going to add. They're by iEnvy. I think they are like they're by Kiss. Yeah, so the Kiss lashes, they make these called iEnvy. And then you guys know what foundation I'm going to use. I'm going to use the Milani Conceal Perfect foundation. This is my favorite all-time foundation. So right now I'm just going to add my foundation with a beauty blender. Every time I finish applying my foundation, I like taking my beauty blender and the product I have left over on the bottom part of it, I just like taking it and just barely dabbing it in between my eyebrows. That's just going to help obviously apply coverage in that area, but also when I fill in my eyebrows, I always tend to kind of make them a little bit too close together, and then when I apply the excess foundation in between them, it almost creates like an ombre effect for my brows, which I like rather than just like a boxy look. So that's what I like to do. And then after I apply powder, I go ahead and kind of like fix up this area of my eyebrows, just because if I go in right now, the foundation is a little bit too slippery for like the brow pencil, just because it has wax as well. So once I apply powder in this area, I go back in and just kind of fix the front of my eyebrows. Next, I'm going to contour. I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light. If you can't find this specific contouring, I like using the cream one, not the powder one. If you can't find this one, the Huda Beauty cream contour that they have is really good too. And then if that one's too expensive, the LA Girl Pro Conceal. I like using these. My color is Beautiful Bronze. It's like a perfect contouring shade. So just depending on your budget and the products that you can find, those are the ones that I recommend. But I'm going to use the Kat Von D. And my favorite brush is the e.l.f. stippling brush, small stippling brush. Times when I add contour, I tend to go a little bit too low on my face with the contour, so I just take my beauty blender again and then just clean up the area where I went a little bit too low. If you add your contour too low on your face, it's gonna drag it down. The point of contouring is to kind of lift your face and make it look like you have high cheekbones. So if you went a little bit too low, just take the excess foundation you have and just clean it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit even more with powder. But that's later. So now I'm going to add concealer. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. Contour my nose, and I'm going to show you guys just a little bit of what I do. I'll let you guys know what products I use, but I do plan on making a more in-depth video on how I contour my nose. I've been practicing a lot on how to contour my nose, and now I kind of like the technique that I'm doing. So I'm just taking this fluffy brush. This is one that came in my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I'm using the same cream contour that I used on my face. Set my face, I'm going to add the Huda Beauty powder in Pound Cake. And I'm going to use my beauty blender. So I'm just going to dip my beauty blender into the powder, and then I just like taking the excess off on the back of my hand. And then whatever's left, I just add to this area underneath my eyes. I don't like to bake. I just like to press as much powder as I can. Now I'm going to take just a little bit more of the powder and clean up the contour that I did, especially up here at the front. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the powder and just drag it back and forth here. And then with a brush, I'm just going to take off the excess powder. And I'm going to add some to my forehead as well. Like in the center of my brows and in the middle of my forehead. I also like to bake my nose, and I don't have a brush that I like applying the powder to my nose directly, so I actually like using my fingers. So I just take some of the powder on my finger, and then I just add it to the tip of my nose, as much powder as I can. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bridge of my nose. Just like that. And then I'm just going to finish off my face, and then at the end I'll wipe it off. Now I'm going to add bronzer, and I'm going to be using, this is the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer, and I didn't want to flip it over just because mine cracked. So I'm trying to take care of it as much as I can because it's pretty expensive. And I'm going to be using, this is a BH Cosmetics brush, and I don't know the exact name of the brush because it came in a set. But it's just this, it's a super fluffy brush, but it's a little bit pinched, so it's a little bit flat. Just like that. And I feel like it works perfectly on my forehead and around my contour. Blush, and I'm going to be using, this is a NYX blush in Dusty Rose. It looks like this. It's a very neutral blush, just gives like a little hint of color to the cheeks. And I'm going to use this big fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. Bit of color to my lower lash line, so I'm gonna go back in with the eyeshadow palette I used from Kat Von D, and I'm gonna take the lighter brown shade that I used, and I'm just gonna go back in with that same brush that I used for my eyeshadow as well, the C brush by e.l.f., and I'm just gonna drag it onto my lower lash line. I mentioned before, after I add my powder, I like to fix my brows. So I'm going to take my brow pencil again, and I'm just going to fix the front of my brow. I'm just taking the pencil on its side and just brushing upward to fix the front of the brow. Not necessarily add more product, but just fix the shape. I hate my brows right now, but since I'm letting them grow out, I just feel like I can't get them to look right, but it's as good as they're gonna get, I guess. And now I'm just gonna wipe off the excess powder on my nose. And I'm gonna set my face. I'm not gonna add any highlight. For this look, I like a matte face, so I'm just gonna add some setting powder. This is the Morphe Setting Mist. Now I'm going to do my lips, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to add on my lips, but I think I'm going to add a lot because I kind of want to make them pinky but not too pink and keep it kind of nude. So I have a bunch of products that I'm going to add on my lips. So I'm going to start off with lining my lips. This is NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Soft Spoken. There's the lip liner. Now I'm going to add a little bit of Birthday Suit by Too Faced. This is just like a nude mauve color. I was going to add something else, but I think this combo looks really good. So I'm just going to stick with these two, Birthday Suit and Soft Spoken by NYX. So this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was the look obviously from my last video, but I do have a bunch of video ideas that I want to do for you guys. I asked on Instagram what videos you wanted to see from me, and you guys gave me really good ideas. So I think I have like 10 other videos that I have planned out for you guys. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm going to leave it down below because I ask you guys all the time what type of videos you guys want to see from me. So follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video.